The tents that lined Atkinson Street are gone, but the problems have not gone away.
There's drug use going on and stuff like that, but way less than before.
But the small side street is still a draw. The city runs an engagement center here for individuals in need of help during the day.
It's mostly homeless people that go to the EC center to either get something to eat, or they're wet and they just need a dry place, or they need to clean up.
You can't stop people from going on the street, and I mean, what they're doing at the engagement center is amazing for people. All the services they offer and everything like that. I mean, I guess maybe it's hard when all the services are in the same area.
Dr. Bisola Ojikutu is the executive director of the Boston Public Health Commission. Her office is a few blocks from Atkinson Street.
It's difficult to see. I do drive past every single day, and I oftentimes slow down or pull over, because as a doctor, some of my patients have been down here. And it's a tragedy. This is really a chronic disease where people struggle on and off, relapse, remit, like many other chronic diseases.
Our biggest issue is we still have hundreds of people out here on the street. That's a function of the fact that there are still drug dealers down here every day. There's still open air drug market. And I know the city is working on it, I know the state is working on it, and really working to try to figure out that balance of enforcement with the rights of people to be where they are.
Winston Flowers is headquartered on Southampton Street. While conditions in the area have improved somewhat, the company suspended in-person bridal consultations due to safety concerns. Winston pays for security beyond law enforcement for their employees.
There's been some verbal altercations, almost physical altercations. We were surrounded by 200 tents here. We've had people come on the property and remind us, you are surrounded. My office actually sits right on Southampton Street, so I still hear a lot of activity, a lot of heartbreak. The measures that have been put in place to at least get people off the streets, it's not perfect, but it's some kind of progress, and you don't want to hold up progress for perfection.
Butch Milan, president of Damon Distributing, a wholesale meat processing facility.
We're processing in this area all the food that goes into the whole New England area.
Milan worries about the continuing impact on local businesses. His concern comes from personal experience.
My son and I were standing here one day, and one of them ran up on the dock, burst through us, ran into my neighbor's shop, and he started taking a bath in his sink. Like, literally took his clothes off and he's taking a bath. Hey, listen, everybody needs help. I understand that. But to interfere with somebody's business, that they're trying to provide a livelihood for their employees. If you can't operate, you can't work, then what's going to happen to you? You'll be out of business.
Milan believes the problems persist because services are still centralized in this one area.
You can't cure somebody short term. It's not going to take a month or a couple of pills.
As executive director of the Newmarket Business Association, Sue Sullivan advocates on behalf of the neighborhood's businesses and residents.
So we have about 235 businesses down here that employ over 20,000 people, and most of them are people who live within 5 miles of where they work.
Sullivan says the businesses are not leaving and are part of the solution to the mass and caste crisis.
In the last several months, we've formed the Newmarket Business Improvement District, which is where all the property owners in an area get together and decide they are going to try to help the city through additional services to make changes in the area above and beyond what the city is able to do. We need a little more.
The Business Improvement District has hired workers to clean up the neighborhood. Most of them once lived in the Mass and Caste tent encampment, including Tim Gallagher. He credits the work program for helping him get clean.
I had an industrial accident and I had an air conditioning unit fall on top of my head, and I was prescribed opiates. Then I got taken off them and I switched to street drugs because it was cheaper. I started using the heroin and I kind of put like a thing in my head that I needed it. And one day I sat down, let's keep myself busy and hang out with people that don't use, and it kind of works. Kind of like you're owned by the company you keep.
There is also a storage program for unsheltered individuals who once lived in the tents.
We honored them by honoring their belongings.
Carol Costello returns personal items to them once their housing stabilizes.
A lot of them were like, I can't go into a shelter, I have too much stuff. This way we could help them pack up their stuff put it in the shelter. My number is posted at the engagement center. They give me a call, I come over to the shelter and bring their belongings to them.
Tim Gallagher is living in transitional housing at the Roundhouse Hotel and continues to pursue recovery. He's optimistic about his future and the neighborhoods.
I'm busy now. If I can do it, definitely they can do it.
And many Newmarket Square business owners say they're in support of the city reopening the city's shelter on Long Island. A recovery campus there would move services away from the Mass and Cass area.
Right, and we asked city officials if ferry service to Long Island would be an option. The Wu administration says they do see Long Island as part of the solution, the long-term solution to homelessness, but they're still working out the details of how that can work.
All right.